All right. Welcome back to the GD Flu Recovery Podcast. As we're both not fully well yet. But that's fine. The show must go on, as they say. So, uh, also, if you're watching live, I know I'm a day early, but I was scheduled for work tomorrow, so it is what it is. But enough about me. What about our guest today?
Hey guys, I'm David, 1davidj. Yeah, I figured we'd just go live today. That way we're both maximally sick so that the quality is as bad as possible.
Perfect, you know?
Yeah,
This is how it
but
was
just
meant to be.
yeah, just in case anyone else watching is also still sick from GDQ because everyone got sick. But
As as it always ends up.
yeah,
So, apologies for any disgusting sounds that may or may not occur. We'll
yeah,
we'll see how it goes,
yeah, I
but
think it'll be fine. Hopefully.
probably. I
Sure.
have felt much better today than any other day since.
Yeah, me too.
Well, on to the actual show and out of the disclaimers, I guess. So, what is it you do?
So I speedrun. I've been speedrunning for like about 10 years or so. I think I got into it early 2015, but started, I don't know, early mid 2015. Mostly tends to be racing games, particularly Kirby Air Ride is what I started with, and then got into F Zero GX a little bit later. I ran F Zero X a bit as well, which is N64 one, and then I don't know, a few other random miscellaneous games. I like learned Sunshine back in the day because everyone learned it. It's just the game that everyone learned. I learned Shadow Generations, and that came out late last year because it looked fun. Did like one run of Mario Kart 8, I think, is on speedrun.com. Um, ran a Pokemon Omega Ruby for a little while. I don't know. I've just kind of been around. I know a lot of people in a lot of communities, even though I haven't like run a lot of games. But yeah, Kirby Air Ride and F Zero GX are kind of my main two. So,
All right. Well, how did it all begin?
uh, so I mean, I think like most people, they just found GDQ. I was just scrolling Twitch one day and was looking at the game directory channel and saw that Sunshine had like 100,000 viewers and clicked on it. And yeah, it was Trey doing his AGDQ 2015 Sunshine run. So I watched that and I was like, that was cool. And then didn't think anything of it. But then a couple weeks later, I saw I was like looking at Twitch again. And I saw the Sunshine directory. It didn't have 100,000 viewers, but it had like I don't know, several hundred. I think it was Fi streaming. He was streaming Sunshine. So I watched him for a bit, and I was like, oh, that's cool. And I think I followed the directory and checked it out later. Found Bouncy Boy. Um, he hosted Pair Strike. I don't know. I think at that point, like I had looked into like previous GDQ submissions, and then just like started following like a bunch of people um, who ran any game that sounded interesting or like submitted anything interesting. Just because like I ended up getting super curious about it. Um, but yeah, him hosting Pair Strike is how I found out about Air Ride, and that's the first game that like really captured me because it looked really fun. And I don't know, I just downloaded it on emulator and started playing. Went from there.
Hmm. So that was the first game, and then
Yeah. So I ran that for a while, and then I kind of like started learning a lot about like other speedruns and stuff like that, and started spending a lot of time on Twitch, just kind of hanging out in people's chats, just like asking questions from everyone. Just like, tell me about this game. Like, what are you doing here? How does that work? Why are you doing this? Blah blah blah. You know, the same questions that every speedrunner gets. But I was just super curious about everything. Um, but I was still just running Air Ride, and then Pearstrike got into SGDQ 2016 um, to run all tracks, and he told me he's like, "Oh, you should come to GDQ and commentate my run." I was kind of nervous about it, just hadn't gone to a live event, hadn't met anyone in person, but he convinced me. He was like super nice. He was like, "Dude, you can hang out with me all week. It'll be great." So I did, and obviously I went and had a blast and love GDQ so much. I've gone to every one since. But there was someone running there who was a GX runner, and she was just like in the practice room, like playing it. I just kind of sat down and started watching her and just asking her about it, and I was also like vaguely familiar because one of the other top air ride runners, Super Sanic, he's also a top GX runner. So like I'd seen him stream it a couple times, and I don't know, it caught my attention, and then I got back, I don't know, a week or two later, just like downloaded it on emulator, and then started. I'd never played GX before. I played F Zero X as a kid, but never GX. I just like downloaded it and started playing. And was like, oh, that was kind of fun. I started like message Sanic about it and got some info about like the tech and I don't know, just kind of went from there. There was like a 12-hour challenge because it's a thing that people did back in the day. Normally like after every GDQ. Maybe it was just after SGDQ. I'm not sure. I don't remember who it was, but someone would organize like a 12-hour challenge where a ton of people on like a
It was
weekend would,
golden.
yeah, would organize like a 12-hour challenge to try and learn a new speedrun. Kind of the idea, depending on the length of the run, was like you have 12 hours to either complete a speedrun of a game or like if it's a shorter category, then like 12 hours to learn the game and then complete as best of a run as you can. Just like a way to learn a new run. And so I took that opportunity. I'd already kind of started learning GX, but I just kind of like dedicated the 12-hour weekend to trying to complete as many of the staff ghosts as possible. Because staff ghosts in that game are really difficult, and so you kind of have to learn like a lot to like learn a lot of the tech to actually beat them. So I did that. Didn't beat all of them within the 12 hours, but um, made pretty good progress. And then I just kind of kept playing it and became my main game for a while. I kind of switched off between that and Air Ride, but it was GX more. Um, and then particularly actually, so GX has two main categories. There's snaking and max speed, and max speed's the main one that most people do because snaking. If you're familiar with like F-Zero X or GX, there's like a acceleration versus max speed slider, and if you have it all the way to the left, then like you can gain speed really quickly while turning. And it's also kind of true in F-Zero X, but not to the same degree. Um, but snaking basically involves doing that and like turning back and forth, so it's pretty hard on your hands because you also have to strafe too. Um, so not very many people play that, but I started with max speed like everyone else does, and I don't know. Eventually got into snaking and found that I liked it more. It's just you go so much faster that I like going fast. So
So that's the
um,
faster run,
yeah, it's a faster run despite being less common. It's kind of interesting. Um,
and the other one being max speed, but being
it's the
slower.
slower one. Yeah,
Beautiful.
but it just means yeah, because like the settings are either max acceleration or like full
Yeah.
max speed. But it is funny, yeah. The max speed category is the slower one. But that's kind of like the play style and like relative game speed that the game is built around. It's still very fast, so like I don't fault anyone for doing it. I don't know. I wish there was more singing competition, but I ran that for like fairly dedicated for probably like a year or something like that, a little over. Ended up getting to like solidly third place, so that's where I've been at since. It's not super popular. The second place guy, but both the top two players have been running for like first place guy's been playing for like over 20 years. Second place guy's been playing for like over 15, so it's kind of hard to compete. But um, so I'm like solidly third place for that now. That's where I've been for a while. But
So that was what, 10 years ago,
what was that? Say that
or
again.
I guess 9 years ago from today.
Um, oh, as far as I think your first part of your question cut out. What
Oh,
did you ask? Sorry.
well, now I gotta make sure my mic's working.
Okay.
Let me just double check the settings just to be sure. Okay. I was just commenting that that was like 9 years ago from today, 8 or 9
Oh,
years.
okay. Let me. No, that was a little bit
Cat
less than
jump
that. So
scare. Oh,
I got into snaking in like, or sorry, I got into GX in like summer of 2016. Ran it for about a year. Probably got into snaking in like summer of 2017,
okay.
maybe early 2018. Probably it was probably early 2018, roughly. And then I ran that for like a year and change to like 2019 or so. Um, yeah, and then I don't know. Every once in a while, I would like jump back to Air Ride. Um, later that so SGDQ 2019. Pearstrike and I. Pearstrike's a good friend of mine. He's the Air Ride rival. Been playing back and forth with him forever. But so he and I submitted and got in for Air Ride all tracks, no duplicate rides. Have you played Air Ride at all? Are you familiar?
I I have not like a lot, but
Not a lot,
I
but
played every
enough to
mode.
be okay. Yeah, enough to be vaguely familiar. So
Actually, the mode I played the most is probably the like top down
oh yeah, top ride. Yeah,
top right.
that's a rare one. Usually, I mean,
Yeah, I
everyone
know.
says City
That's
Trial.
why I'm bringing it up because I know it's
Yeah,
absurd.
yeah. No, I mean it's fun. I do like the mode. It's cool.
I do have
But
old memories of I never owned a GameCube, but my friend a neighborhood friend had one and had air ride, and we just
Mm,
do the city trial, fuck around.
yeah.
But I never did any of the races or anything.
Mm. So something about that game I haven't talked about. Part of the one of the biggest things that I think makes it really cool and unique is that in time attack mode. So even though it's just you, there's no like other players that you're racing against, which is what we do. The main category. The main category is just like all tracks. So you just do time attack wall nine courses. Um, Even though there's no other enemies, there's still or no other players. There's still like the power up enemies and stuff like that. And so what they do there is if you kill enemies, you get a speed boost, and the speed boost is like pretty big. And there's a lot of enemies, and the enemies are different every lap. So you end up with like even though there's 3 laps, you end up with like different routing per lap, and you're like trying to route in where you're picking up certain power ups, and yeah, and like the speed you get from killing it, like I mentioned, is like quite a bit. So it's super fun. But anyway, so the category that we got in for SGDQ 2019 was all tracks no duplicate rides, because one of the things that when I first started running the game, there was a lot of vehicle variety. Used like let's see, used Scooter, used Jetstar, Bulkstar, Swerve Star. Let's see, right? Say Jet. Yeah, there were like 4 or 5 vehicles that we used. There was a lot of variety. And then kind of like as we all got better, it turned out that Scooter was just kind of the best almost everywhere. So the category devolved down to Scooter everywhere except for um, Magma Flow is the only course that we used Rocket on. And so we kind of came up with like an alternate category where we can only use each vehicle once just to get a little more variety because a lot of the vehicles have like all the vehicles drive really differently. Um, so there's like a lot of unique tech for each vehicle, and so we got that category in for summer of 2019. So then I started de-rusting that and ran that for a while. Um, Ended up getting the record in that. I think Paul and I went back and forth a little bit. Japanese runner ran it. He had the record for a bit. He and I went back and forth. Um, so I ran that into 2019. I think late 2019 I picked up. So all 3 categories have an any percent category, or we called it at the time 100 checkboxes, where also if you're familiar with like the spreadsheet
Yeah.
checklist that the
Mhm.
game has. Yeah, so there's 120 of them, and when you complete 100, it unlocks the credits. So that's we just call it any percent, um,
Hmm.
like for that category. So the categories are pretty unique because there's a lot of variance. Like um, there's a bunch of checkboxes that you get pretty consistently, but some of them like suck up 3 wheels in a race and finish in first place. Um, the spawns in the racing mode are a little bit more random. Like there's still certain places that power ups are likely to spawn, but there's a little bit more randomness. So you don't always get the same check boxes every run. But there's like some adjustments you do and stuff like that. But the route's pretty cool. So I started running that for a little while. Um, I think I got record at the time. Pretty sure. But no, I think I got second place. Super Sanic had the record. Um, and then let's see. That was like late 2019. And then kind of going into COVID, I was playing a lot of old school RuneScape, which is not speedrunning.
Hmm.
So I didn't do that much speedrunning for a while, but I was still just like submitting to GDQs because they had the online ones, and I figured like if I get a run in, then I would just de-rest and you know do the run. There was actually something I forgot to mention. In 20, TwitchCon 2018, they had the first GDQ Express,
Mhm.
which is like the little mini GDQ they run at TwitchCon. And I ran GX there. I ran snaking all tracks. So that was my first time like doing a GDQ run. It wasn't like a full like official GDQ run, but it's still my first time doing it, which was cool. Um, and then yeah, later the next year, which is when I had the air ride run. Um, let's see what else. I ran. I did a couple runs on the online GDQs during COVID. I don't remember. I ran GX once for it, and I ran Airride once for it. Um, I want to say it was like January 2021 and 2023, maybe. Um, but then the next game that I picked up was so I went to since SGDQ 21 didn't happen, but kind of felt like COVID had we were kind of like coming out of COVID in 21. There was Midwest Speed Fest going on, so me and a couple other friends from like other speedrunners from California, we all decided to go to that because I don't know, seemed like fun to go to an event. And so I submitted. I ended up. Wait, did I run anything at that event? Um, I think I must have. I probably ran Air Ride. But I don't know. At that point, like I've been running the game for so long, and it's a short run. It's like 20 minutes, so I'd probably de-rest it pretty quickly. But there was a Omega Ruby versus Alpha Sapphire race there, and I've known a lot of Pokemon speedrunners for a while, and kind of followed the runs for a while and stuff like that. Was pretty familiar, and kind of always wanted to learn a Pokemon run, but never actually got around to it. But after watching that run, I was like, I'm going to learn Mega Ruby because it's also my favorite Pokemon game. So I learned that and ran it on the emulator for a while. It was actually like a super beginner-friendly run. It's an easy game, which makes it like easy to complete runs, and it's basically I think it's completely glitchless. Um, so it's
Surprising for
basically just
Pokemon.
yeah. The later games are pretty good.
I feel like the later ones are glitchier without like exploits,
yeah, yeah, yeah. Especially like the Switch ones are
Yeah,
definitely
yeah.
like pretty glitchy. Um, but yeah, so it's pretty simple. It's kind of funny. They have you played Omega Ruby?
I have not.
Okay.
That's
So they
I
actually
know that's Gen 3 remakes.
yeah,
Gen 7?
Jet 6, yeah,
6. Okay.
close enough.
Yeah, close enough. 7 was 7 the
Yeah.
first Switch one? No.
No, 7, 8 was. 7
Okay.
was the
X and then Sun and Moon.
Sun and Moon.
And then
Yeah.
okay. I have played Heart Gold and Platinum. So
Okay. So you haven't played a whole
there's my
bunch.
entire history. Oh no, wait, Black. I played a lot of
Okay.
Black as a kid. Never mind.
Okay.
Those are the 3.
But yeah, so in basically like halfway through the game, it just gives you one of the legendaries, like one of the or what was previously a roaming legendary. It just gives it to you in the game, and it has like 3 of its stats are like perfect IVs. It's a random 3, but it's really easy to complete the game with that. And then you get Groudon at the end, and then that one also has 3 perfect IVs. So yeah, it makes the game pretty easy to beat. So it was like a very nice beginner friendly run. Unfortunately, since I was running an emulator, the leaderboards are separate, and then the other thing that was annoying is the emulator had like a memory leak somewhere, so the game would just kind of slow down over time. And then eventually, it was like faster to reset the game, like once or twice during the run. Which is
Interesting.
also something that uh, um, what are they? Scarlet and Violet have, at least on Switch One, they'd have a memory leak. It's faster to reset like a couple times. I don't know how it is on
Really?
Switch 2. I know
Okay.
the run got like I think like half an hour faster or something like that on Switch 2, just for free from less lag.
What a
But
fascinating release.
yeah,
The more
it
I
kind of
hear about it.
seems like the game was really built for Switch 2, and they
Yeah.
just kind of got it out early. At
Well,
least
that
that's
makes
the
sense, I guess.
charitable interpretation.
Did they do
Which
like just the free update thing?
yeah,
Okay.
I don't even
That's
know if it
good.
had an update. It probably did, but like
Oh, yeah.
regardless, it just runs better. Like way,
Hmm.
way, way, way better.
No, yeah, I know that just runs pretty much everything better, but some have like
Mm.
like Odyssey, for
A specific.
example, they just have like a free here's huge performance upgrade for
Mm.
free or whatever.
Yeah, yeah, that's pretty much what Scarlet Violet had.
Okay.
Um, but yeah, so I ran that for a while, and one of my friends, I don't know if you know Powdered Milk, he used to be around like Sunshine community back in the day, but he hasn't been around for a few years.
I do not follow
Um,
Sunshine at all.
okay, yeah, he he messaged me. He's just like, "Hey, David, do you want to buy a 3DS capture card?" And I
Oh.
was like, "Well, I mean, I've been running the game. I've been running the game for a while, and just on emulator."
Mhm.
And I was like, because he was telling me he wanted to learn how to make them because like he's done some like console modding and stuff like that, and he had one of his friends who had learned to do it. So I was like, yeah, all right, sure, like I'll buy one from you. He gave me like a discount, but he's like, okay, but you have to give me the money up front so I can buy the parts to actually make it for you. Okay, whatever. So I bought it from him, and then didn't end up using it for like a while. And eventually I tried to get it set up, and I like downloaded the drivers he sent me and everything. And I had gotten it, and then I didn't set it up for like a couple months, but eventually I did. And I downloaded the drivers and it didn't work.
Ah.
And I was like, well, that sucks. So I messaged him and I sent it back to him, and shipping it across the country to him. And he gets it and plugs it in and it works perfectly. And he's like, David, what the hell?
Oh.
But turns out he sent me the wrong drivers.
Oh,
And
okay.
since it's just like a, like a custom program that like runs I don't remember the company that makes the capture board, but like it's not exactly like a robust like user interface. So like if it doesn't register like the device it's plugged in, then it just says no device. So since I had the wrong like drivers, it just said no device. Um, so I shipped it across the country and back for nothing. But once he sent me the right drivers, it worked. But then I did like, I don't know, like 1 or 2 runs on console, and then didn't do any more runs. So that was a bit of a waste in terms of buying that 3DS capture card. But now I have it, so if I ever want to do more runs, I can.
I'd like one
Um,
because then you have just free DS, 3DS, Virtual Boy capture.
that's true. Although, depending on the game, I think like the Gen 4 and 5 Pokemon games have RNG manipulation based on the console's time.
Yeah.
And I think those don't work the same on 3DS. So I think if I wanted to run those games manipped, I would need to um, I would need like a regular DS capture card. I'm pretty sure.
Hmm.
So that's unfortunate. But I don't think I'm running those games anytime soon anyway. Um, let's see what else. So that was like 2021. Um, I didn't do a whole lot of other speedrunning. I kind of just like kept submitting to events. Actually, no, that's not true. I got into SGDQ 2023, um, which was my first like solo GDQ run, like of a main GDQ, I guess. I mean, by that point, I had done 2 online GDQs and a in-person race and a GDQX. So like, I don't know. Technically, it was my first solo in-person run, main GDQ, but I'd done quite a few at that point. But I got 0x in, and I was running the expansion kit, or like all tracks with the expansion kit. And are you familiar with the expansion kit at all?
Yes.
Are you familiar?
It adds a couple more cups. The Rainbow Road has like an actual like
Yeah,
remix track editor, card editor, or whatever.
yeah. So that was basically it's only available for the N64 disk drive, which is like a Japanese only piece of hardware that's like super expensive. But it turns
Unless.
out, yeah, it turns out EverDrive runs it,
Mm-hmm.
and I had an EverDrive, and so um, I got approval from GDQ because like obviously it is like a prohibitively expensive piece of hardware to get. But the tracks are pretty cool. They're like really evil. They're very very difficult, like tight turns, lots of road hazards. Um, but the tracks are unique, and
Everyone loves
the custom
Bigfoot,
beat.
right?
Yeah, yeah. So in the regular game, the last level is Big Hand, and it's just like a big hand with a bunch of turns. Um, a lot of the section has no walls, and like one of the turns, it's like a pretty sharp turn with no walls. But yeah, then they added Bigfoot in the last cup in the expansion kit, and that's like it's so bad. Like you can't even drift the final turns. Like they're like imagine trying to drive around like your pinky toes. There's it's like this much space. Like you can't turn fast enough without like completely slowing down. So that course, like you think it'd be kind of fun because you're like drifting turns back and forth, but you can't even drift them. They're too tight of turns. So um, yeah, that course is rough, but overall it was fun. Yeah, that run was a good time. Um, I was like second guessing myself a little bit because I wasn't nearly as good at F Zero X as I was at GX or Air Ride. So like, I wasn't like sure if I should be doing a run because I think I was ranked like 20 or what rank am I in GX actually? Let me check. I think it's worse than that actually. The thing is though, like what I kind of justified is like nobody else is submitting anyway, and I felt like I was good enough to do a run.
Yeah.
Um,
I think GDQs are pretty good at balancing like skill and you know,
yeah,
like you don't have to be the record holder to get in. you know?
Yeah. Like on the F-Zero Central ladder, I'm ranked 50, but it's like among people that are above me, like, a lot of these times were set, like last set in like the 2010s, like rank 9, last set of time in 2009. The ladder's like not very active. Yeah, rank 11, 2009, 2011, 16, 11, 11, 11, 13. So there's not a lot of people like active running the game. So among those, I figured I was like, well, I can run the game well enough to show it off, and I think I did. But yeah, that was something I was like a little bit nervous about at the time. Um, let's see. So after that, so that was summer of 23. Um, I guess we're getting into like pretty recent times at this point.
Hmm.
Um, I didn't run much in most of last year. I think. Wait, no, I did. I didn't do a lot of running, but I got in for at SGDQ 2024. Parastrike and I had another air race. We just submitted every time, and I guess it's gotten in every couple years at this point. Because it's a fun run and like it's short, so it's easy for them to fit in. Um,
It was like the 5 year rematch, right?
yeah, that was 5-year rematch,
Hmm.
and Paul loves wrestling, and so he like wanted to do like a big like a whole wrestling bit. He got like this. Like,
Oh, we need a visual representation. The cat would just move slightly over.
we competed for the Kirby Air Ride
Oh
Championship belt,
my
and
god. Hell yeah.
and I won, so I got the belt.
Huge.
Um, but yeah, he ordered this off Amazon and like ordered these stickers, and it was a whole thing.
That's
But
fun.
he acted like a heel, just being like an asshole and stuff like that. Um, but we had a really good time, and so that was like summer of last year. Was that last summer? Or was that this?
Hmm.
Pretty sure that was last year.
Yep.
Let me. Yeah, okay, that was yeah. Um, and then let's see. So I kind of stopped after that. Like I don't know, I play other games. I play League. I played like I mentioned earlier, like old school RuneScape. So like I'm not always like doing speedruns. Sometimes it's just like casual gaming like anyone else. Um, but when Shadow Generations came out, I think that was like October.
It's been out that long. Hmm.
Yeah, October. Well, end of October, I guess. Um, I was watching some people. I was watching Emerald run it during like the week of release, and I was like, "Damn, that game looks really fun." And like I've never run a Sonic game before. I'm not like a Sonic speedrunner by any means. I was just watching it, like the run looked really fun. So I bought the game and just like played through it and really enjoyed it. So I played through it again and then just I don't know, kind of started learning some of the tech. At a basic level, it's super simple because like the main speed tech is just when you're in the air, if you throw chaos. Have you seen the game at all?
Not much
Are you
of it.
familiar?
Um,
Okay,
I played the original generations, most of it, but
okay. Um,
yeah, it is on my backlog.
mm, it is short. That's actually like
Yeah,
my number one complaint about the game is that it's too short, which is a good complaint to have because it means that the rest of the game was good. I
yeah.
just wanted more of it.
Plus, it's
Um,
like it's like what Bowser's Fury. It's a small part of like a larger
of the remaster,
package.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Although I haven't even played through all of the Sonic Gens remaster. I played the first couple of levels. So I played Shadow Gens first,
Hmm.
and then I played the first couple levels of Sonic Gens, and I was like, wow, it doesn't control as well as Shadow, so I didn't like it. So I stopped. Um, but basically, Shadow has like this thing he could throw Chaos Spears, and if you use them in the air, it preserves your momentum. So you can just, I mean, like you generally move much faster on the ground, like you lose speed pretty quickly in the air. But if you are throwing spears, then you don't. So it just allows you to make like way bigger jumps than you'd normally be able to do, and that makes the run like really fun. Just doing that, and that like at a baseline level is kind of like the only tech you need to learn to get started. So it's super easy to get started, and there's like online leaderboards like time attack and stuff like that. Interestingly enough, so when you kill enemies, or if there's capsules you can pick up, they give you chaos control, and it stops time for 6 seconds. And that time also pauses the timer. So for like ILs, the it's like interesting, unique routing that's different than like your RTA routing because you're trying to kill like certain enemies or route in certain chaos control capsules. Um, so I don't know. I mostly focused on like RTA stuff, and I ran 80% for a few months. I think I got to like rank 14. I think I've lost a few ranks down to rank 20 now, but I think I was rank 14 at the time. Um, but yeah, I'm definitely like not done with the game. I just kind of stopped temporarily. Um, yeah, so I ran that up through let's see, 5 months ago. Yeah, I guess that was like February. So Alpha Dolphin got that into SGDQ, or sorry, AGDQ last January. So I was on commentary for that. Um, that run was a lot of fun. I really enjoyed that run. Just commentating, and he did a fantastic job with it. Yeah, and then I ran it for like another month or so, and just kind of stopped. And then let's see. I think since then, this year, I haven't done that much speedrunning. I don't think I've done any. Let me think about this. Oh, something else I missed. Towards like at TwitchCon last year, I did a run of F-Zero GX as well, and that was like late September, early October. So I de-rested for a couple weeks for that, but I don't think I set any new PBs or anything like that. So that was just like a couple week de-rest. But that's kind of been my speedrunning history for the last like 10 years or so. Just kind of jumping around games, taking breaks, playing League of Legends instead, etc. But
A lot of GDQs in there.
yeah,
Have you really been to
um,
every in-person event since that first one?
every GDQ, yeah. So
Wow.
it's SGDQ 16, 17, 17, 18, 18, 19, 19, 20, summer of 22, summer of 23, winter of 24, summer 24, 25, 25. So it's 14 GDQs.
My God.
Yeah, I took a picture of all my badges.
I say, oh God, like I
Quickly.
haven't been to 9 myself,
Yeah,
and then 4 or 5 paces. I don't even remember.
yeah. I wanted to
um,
go to a pace, but I guess
yeah,
it's not happening anymore. Part of the problem with the pace for me was just that it's kind of hard to justify like going to a second week-long event in the summer,
mm-hmm.
and
Yeah,
like I'm not going to miss GDQ for that. And then it seemed like the summer pace was a lot more popular than the fall pace. Like fall
yeah,
pace
it
would have
was.
been when I would have considered going because like it's a different time of year and stuff like that. But it seemed like it wasn't as popular. So I was like, well, okay, I don't know when I would go to a pace, but I guess it doesn't matter anymore.
They were fun. They were unique,
Yeah.
but they had their issues, and yeah, it
Oh,
is
something
what
I
it
didn't
is.
talk. Yeah, something I didn't talk about at all was I went to several Calithons.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I'm friends with I guess both of the organizers, Jeff and Shasta, and I went to 17, 18, and 19, and ended up like volunteering as well for the 18 and 19. Um, those were really fun, and a similar vibe to Pace, I'm sure.
Mm-hmm.
Although I guess Pace was like very Mario 64 centric, is from what I
Yes,
understand, because
very.
like they had the
Mm-hmm.
yeah, and like Calithon wasn't like that, but it's same vibe in terms of being like a much smaller event, fewer people, and like it's more like we had people from out of California, obviously, but like it felt more like a local thing. Um,
Like old GDQs.
yeah.
Yeah,
Although, well, I don't know how old it would have been to feel like that because like even by 2016 when I went to my first one, it was much bigger than any of the Calithons.
2012.
Yeah. Um, but those were a lot of fun, and I'm sad that Calithon died during COVID,
Yeah.
but it is what it is.
Mm-hmm.
Um, oh, and then I pulled up I took a picture of like all my event badges. I've gone to like 25 speedrunning somewhat related events. A couple of those were like TwitchCons prior to GDQX, so they don't really count as speedrunning events, but
Mm-hmm.
I mostly like went to hang out with internet people, so I kind of count them. Um, went to a Smash the Record. There was one in California because the first few were in Florida, but then Cherry moved to California, so then he held one in California. Um, so I did a run for that. I think I did 2 runs for that actually, just that one year, because there weren't a lot of people there. That was fun. Um, yeah, I think it's about it.
That's about it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
just 25 events.
I'm at, what am I? 9 GDQs, 5 paces, 1 TwitchCon, 1 PAX West. I think
Speaking
that,
of PAX
oh,
West,
and for the first time ever, there was like a Mario 1 speedrunning tournament a little over a month ago. I guess
mm,
that counts. So,
yeah, I mean, if it was
did I
in
get a
person, yeah.
badge for that? I think so. Yeah. I'll
Yeah, I was
ha-
thinking about submitting to PAX West.
that was fun. That was really fun.
Mm,
That's a lot. It's kind of like old events. That they don't
mm.
even do that for charity like TwitchCon. Like they're like it's literally just for fun, I guess. They
Oh,
don't
really?
have like any obligations or anything.
GQ doesn't?
Yeah. They
Really? Huh.
yeah. For the PAX events, there's no like, or at least right now when I went, there was
There's
no
no, there was no like
donations.
charity associated
No,
with it.
no, there wasn't.
Interesting. That's really cool, actually. I like that a lot.
Yeah, it was unique. Like side event,
Yeah, because
bonus
like
content.
almost all like marathons, even the online ones, are like almost always for like charity.
Yeah.
And like don't get me wrong, I like raising money for charity, but also it's kind of fun to just like not have that. Um, one of my friends, the guy I mentioned, the capture card guy, Milk, he had an event for a little while called DGen Dash, where it's just like an online marathon, and it was just like it's not a fundraiser or anything like that. We're literally just like throwing games together to do in a marathon for fun. Those were fun. I did like a bunch of online marathons back when I was like starting out, which I think helped my nerves a lot. So by the time I like did my first in person run, like I wasn't even particularly nervous,
Mhm.
just because I don't know, I commentated while playing like a billion times, just doing online runs. So
What's fun about the PAX is just like TwitchCon, you get the free badge, huge,
mm,
because it is not worth it otherwise. But
yeah,
um, I
yeah, for
mean,
TwitchCon.
there's so many people there, um, so you get a lot of people outside speedrunning that still kind of know what you're, who you are, and what you're doing, kind of, and then
Mm.
you can sometimes it's a lot easier to get dev commentary. That happens a lot. Sometimes like a game company will literally like have someone come over to watch it. It's like part of the promotion or whatever.
Oh yeah, if the company is there and the runs in
Like I
something
know
like that.
Atari, um, Alta Biscuit ran a Mr. Run and Jump, the Atari game,
Mm,
like the newer Atari game, and they had some guy
mm.
dressed up in this like inflatable mascot costume, just jump around and do shit in the background. It's really funny.
That's fun. Yeah, I've never been to a PAX, and I don't know, just like a video
It's
game
unique.
convention sounds fun.
Yeah. Uh.
Certainly better than TwitchCons, I'm sure, as far as an actual convention.
Uh. eh, I
I
guess.
don't know. I'm not. TwitchCon isn't much of like a gaming convention. It feels like to me, it's like that's what it feels like it should be. But definitely in the past, it just kind of feels like it's I don't know marketing to streamers trying to make it big, and it's like I'm not there for that.
Yeah. Yeah. That is the vibe I got. Um.
Yeah, the one thing I think TwitchCon's good for is like speedrunners. We all have GDQ to like meet up, but
Mhm.
for streams that like aren't speedrunning, then like I guess it's a good opportunity for people to like meet the communities and stuff like that in person. Um,
Plus, if you're like really big, you're not gonna set aside time for a GDQ, but you could at TwitchCon. Like I met a lot of people I probably wouldn't ever meet at GDQ because it's not worth their time.
mm, the speedrunners or
Yeah, like like the I make millions speedrunning speedrunners.
mm,
Obviously, I'm being a little heavy on the numbers, but you know what I mean.
yeah. Well, I was gonna say like I don't know. As I guess there's like a few top speedrunners like that, but for the most part, I feel like most speedrunners, like even big speedrunners, have gone to GDQs and stuff like that. But
A
I
lot
guess it just
have.
depends.
I guess I mean more like content focused around speedrunning, not like traditional. The whole
Oh, I see.
debate thing, which
Yeah, yeah.
I don't need to get into that.
Mhm,
But yeah, I more like the content focused rather
mhm.
than traditional focused.
Yeah, but like for example, a lot of like RuneScape's like streamers and like community people went to TwitchCon last year, and I got to meet up with a bunch of them. And like they, I guess in RuneScape's case now they have there's like a RuneFest, basically like a RuneScape convention. Um, that happened every year prior to COVID, but it stopped for a while because of COVID. The first one happened earlier this year, but like prior to that, for the last couple of years, people just been going to TwitchCon because I was like, that was the place to meet up with people, I guess.
Mhm.
Um, so yeah, I got to meet a bunch of people there last year, which was fun. And yeah, I guess other situations like that, if you're like, I don't know, community, I don't know what else, Clone Hero or whatever other community game that you might know people through. It's just like a place for everyone to go to. So it's good for that.
It was unique, but yeah, it wasn't there wasn't much to do there. It was more like, well, the GDQ was obviously cool, but like
Mm,
most of the fun was had outside the convention, as opposed to like a
yeah.
GDQ or a PAX where all the fun is inside the convention, I guess.
Mm.
Because it's like, are you gonna have fun outside the place selling you microphones? Or it's like there's nothing much to do there unless you're buying expensive stuff.
Yeah. Which I think that's been a point of feedback that TwitchCon's been getting constantly. So hopefully they'll start to get a little bit better about it.
Mm,
Um,
maybe.
I will say some of the stuff that they had, like they did have like a arcade area and like a PC like
Oh,
setup
that's
area
right.
where
They
you just like
did. They,
play
like
games
ping
and stuff
pong
like that.
tables. I do remember that.
Yeah,
That could have been cool.
and they have like the back patio of the convention center is just like a cabana, and you can like
Oh,
buy
that
beers and
that
stuff
was
like
very
that.
nice. Yeah.
Yeah, just like hanging out on that back patio and like it's overlooking the San Diego Bay. It's like September, the weather's fantastic.
Hmm.
Sipping on a beer it is nice out there, and it's fucked up because the name they call it the Kappa Cabana, which is the most absurd name. Like I don't want to give something called the Kappa Cabana that much props, but it deserves it. um,
What, you prefer the Poggers Cabana? No.
but
Um.
yeah, I don't know. I don't think there's any name that would feel appropriate, but the fact that it's Kappa is funny. Also, Fireball makes his appearance.
Huge.
Say hello to Fireball. I think he wants to be here.
Well, I'm definitely gonna sit out TwitchCon this year. There's
Yeah.
another event that it's the same weekend that I'm thinking about, but
Oh, what else is going on?
um, I got really into the classic Tetris scene. The Mario One event last month was where they do the World Championships, same
Oh, that's
room
cool.
and everything. So, and I just
Mm.
got really addicted to watching it. And they're doing an event at in October. That's the same weekend. And also Summoning Salt's doing his first ever like live stuff there. So I thought that'd be
Oh,
fun.
that's cool. Nice.
But I haven't fully decided yet. Uh
Mm.
because the next event, if I didn't do anything else, would be AGDQ, and that's a long time from now. So
Mm.
it'd be nice to figure out something.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I think I'm gonna submit to PAX, and then if I get in, I'll go. I was gonna submit last year, but it was the same weekend as my aunt's birthday, and it was like I think it was her 80th birthday, and we had like a big birthday party.
Hmm.
So my parents were like, "No, you don't get to go out of town that weekend." Okay, whatever. So I missed it last year, but I'll submit this year and hopefully get in. And then, yeah, I'll go to TwitchCon anyway because I'm in San Diego, so it's already here.
Yeah,
And
almost no reason not to. Although
yeah,
the price is absurd. So,
the price is absurd, but hopefully I just get to run into that as well.
or find a game to commentate.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that was something that was really nice about TwitchCon last year was they got commentators badges as well.
Hmm.
Um, so I managed to get Jeff in completely for free because I got him that, and then he stayed at my house, so he basically had like a free event.
Huge.
Um, that's fun.
Yeah. I'll probably skip PAX this time as well.
Mm.
But who
It's coming up
knows?
soon. Yeah,
Yeah.
I guess it's
I'm just
like in a month.
not ready for that.
Mm.
I think my job would get really mad at me if I took any more time off. But
Mm. Yeah, I don't think I'd be taking that much time off because It's mostly a weekend, so I'd probably take like a day or two.
Yeah,
But
I don't know.
mm.
If I made more
No, I
money,
mean,
maybe, but
yeah, that's fair.
there's always next year, right?
Mm,
Maybe. Well, especially I guess if I wouldn't go to these events if I didn't get in anyway because the prices are ridiculous.
that's true. Cat squirming. No more cat for me.
Anyway, I think that's most of that tangent taken care of. I guess I'll go into more game specific stuff. So,
Okay.
Kirby Say Ride was the first one, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So, like, how did categories work again? It was like, do you have to
So,
get 100 checks or whatever? Is that any percent?
yeah. So there's actually like a lot of categories for it.
I
Um,
figured because there's what, like 3 different games in one or whatever.
yeah. There's like five main categories. So there's the main category I guess is the air ride all tracks, which is just like racing online courses. But there's also a top ride all tracks,
Okay.
um, which is like 3 minutes long, or I guess it's 4 minutes, but time in game time, so it's like just under 3 minutes. Um, and then there's any percent for each category for city trial, top ride, and air ride, which is the 100 check boxes. There's in like miscellaneous categories, we also have 100% for each of those categories, which would be like 120 check boxes instead.
Hmm.
We have 100%, like full 100% for the entire game, and then also like a bunch of other random other bullshit, like I was mentioning, the no duplicate rides. We
Mhm.
can't use any vehicle more than once. We have a all rides, all tracks, which is like a 7 hour gauntlet where you play through all 9 courses with all 16 vehicles.
Jesus Christ.
It was just like a race category we made for fun. But we put it on the leaderboards. Technically, like emulator isn't allowed for that category, but my time is on emulator and it's on the leaderboards anyway because it was like a race category, and we just kind of like roughly adjusted my time because we didn't care, just to have it on the leaderboards. So, but what else? And then there's triathlon, which is like a super old category that was there like before I was a leaderboard mod, where it's just like 30 air ride checkboxes, 50 top ride checkboxes, and 30 city trial checkboxes. It's just like a short category to like, I don't know, play through a bunch of the game, like all 3 modes.
Do those numbers mean anything, or they just
No, they're just completely arbitrary. It's
okay?
just like it probably was gonna be 30, 30, 30, but then like top ride's so much faster, they made it 50 instead.
I see. Okay.
Or maybe it would have been 50, 50, 50, but then like the other ones were too long or something. I don't know.
Mhm.
Maybe like 30 was roughly how much you could get in city trial like fairly consistently, since a lot of the checkboxes are super random.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, the record's like 18 minutes, so it's like super short. There's 5 hot dogs percent, which is you get 5 hot dogs.
I have heard that has an interesting
Yeah,
history
yeah.
to go along with it.
The record now is RNG manipulated, and it's
Oh.
16 seconds.
Oh,
Yeah,
that's news. I've
yeah,
only heard about no RNG and it just being this ridiculous thing to exist.
yeah. Well, it's funny actually with that was we had like a little bit of a situation with that because we allow emulator just because like it's a for fun side category,
Mhm.
and I don't know. You're probably not familiar with this. Are you familiar with? Trying to think of other games that do this on the GameCube. The GameCube's RNG stuff is like kind of unique,
Mhm.
because you can technically like seed your RNG based on like the clock cycle, but it's not down to like the frame or anything like that. It's like way more precise than that because the internal
Oh.
clock is like it measures like a million times a second or something like that. And
Okay.
so RNG gets seeded down to that from when you turn on the console. So basically, you can't like
Yeah,
feasibly
no.
do it. But let me think. There's other games that do it. Have you? I think this was talked about in. There was a video about break the targets records in like Peaches break the target records. I don't remember who made the video in Melee, but
I
like
know
how they
Salt just made
RNG.
one, but I think that's a different
Yeah,
video.
but that was about other stuff.
Yeah.
Um, but like they RNG manipulate the first power up that you pull.
Oh, that was. Oh, okay. I know
Are
I
you
know
fam-
what you're talking about from the salt video, but I think this
okay?
was before it was manipulated. So
Okay.
I know like how ridiculous the RNG is normally.
Yeah. Yeah. So basically, um, depending on the game, but like in certain games, like RNG doesn't advance on menus. So if you can like you can measure where your RNG currently is by doing certain things in menus that like call the RNG. So, for example, in Melee, you can like if you have it give you a random fighter, like a random character, by like just pressing start without like having a character selected. And if you do that, then like press B and do it again, it'll like keep giving you random ones. And if you put those into a program, you can measure like where your RNG seed is,
Okay.
and then from there you can keep doing it. It can like tell you how many more times you need to do it to advance your RNG seed. So that when you get into the level, um, I think in that case you have to pull it on a certain frame. But if you pull an item on that frame, it'll be a bomb.
Hmm.
Um, and there's other situations like Pokemon Coliseum does this to get their starter because they need to manipulate an Espeon that has really good stats and then also hidden power grass. And then Aaron actually does this for City Trial 90% to manipulate stadium events because it's pre-selected like as you enter the city.
Hmm.
So you can do that during the menus and manipulate what stadium event you get.
Hmm.
Um, but also you could technically do that to like get to the right seed that the 5 hot dogs% is RNG manipulated to. But the run was done on emulator and it was started basically like with emulator you can tell it to start on a certain clock value. The thing I was saying
Oh.
where you can have like the 1 millionth precision, like you can basically just tell emulator to start like to power on that time. So
Hmm.
he didn't have to do like the setup to get there, but technically the setup is possible and it would be before the run. So it
Hmm.
like even though his run isn't really like feasible on console, like technically it is because you could get to the seed. But the way he did it on emulator is like way easier.
Yeah.
So there was like a little bit of controversy because it's like, well, should we allow this? I mean, like maybe not, but like also it's like a meme category, and like technically it's not impossible on console, and it's within the bounds of the rules. So like we'd be changing the rules after the fact, and that feels kind of scummy.
Hmm.
So we allowed it, and like we always joked about like eventually this category is going to have RNG manipulation, and here we have RNG manipulation. Um, so that, yeah, that's where 5 hot dogs% ended up, and that's where it's at now.
That was a great little history video.
Yeah, the hot dogs lore goes deep.
Hmm. I didn't expect that. I've heard rumors, but
Yeah,
now we know.
you could say it gets saucy.
Mm.
One of my friends, CC Neverender, he did like a world record history of 5 hot dogs%, and he had just hot dog puns all over the video. It was so funny. That was prior to these events. I think he released that video several years ago, but um, yeah, that was a good time.
Hmm. Um. So, any cool tech for Kirby Air Ride other than
Um,
whatever the hell you just talked about?
other than this cool tech,
Well,
well,
other
so
than things that make more sense.
yeah, so I think I mentioned before, but in the main category, air ride all tracks, use wheelie scooter for most of it. And that's because, well, there's a few reasons. It's just generally a fast vehicle. When you catch air, it gets like a large burst of speed. But there's like this spin dash trick where like you spin and like turn towards a wall and charge, and it like zips you forward. Um, best way I can describe it is like it's trying to like bounce you off the wall because if you're spinning, if you like hit a wall, it'll, like push you away. But the vehicle has like such good turning um, when you're like it turns so quickly when you're holding A and like turning towards the wall. So like as it pushes you forward, you're like pushing yourself back into the wall. So like it constantly like pushes you forward and then you turn towards back into the wall, and it just kind of like launches you forward along the wall super quickly. Um, so that makes Scooter really fast. Um, Interestingly, all the vehicles are completely unique. Like they all have like their own unique tech. They drive differently. Trying to think like examples. Um, oh, like Turbo Star has like this weird thing where when you catch air, if like it, if you basically if you go off a jump, it'll like raise you up a bunch, and then like you'll fall back down. But if you point downwards, then like that upwards force will push you forward instead. So
Oh.
like whenever you catch air, you like instantly like turn forward, so that like pulls you forward.
Hmm.
And that vehicle's not even used in all tracks because it's not very fast, but it's used in no duplicate rides, which is an example of like why we made the category, just to like show off more vehicles and stuff like that, and just not even to show them off, just like to use them because it's fun.
Yeah.
Um, Slick Star is like a vehicle that um, it like basically can't turn. Like if you turn sideways, you'll just keep moving forward. Um, so the way you turn is like if you release a boost, it'll like redirect all of your momentum in that direction. But it has really good speed retention if you charge and turn sideways. So there's like sections with a bunch of boosters where you can charge and then like since you're holding A, you'll hit the booster and it'll like zip you along sideways and you turn sideways and then like you can carry that speed for a while and then if you get to a corner, then you're like already turned. So once you like get around the corner, you can just release A and it'll like launch you in that new direction and carry the speed. So Slick Star is actually one of the fastest vehicles. It was actually used in all tracks until like technically it could be used now. Even I use Scooter instead. Like it's pretty competitive with Scooter on Frozen Hillside. Um, let's see what else. Rocket Star is generally fast. Oh, something any of the vehicles that well, basically there's two kinds of vehicles. There's like the floating vehicles, and then there's like wheelies that are like on the ground, which is just basically Scooter, Rex Wheelie, and Wheelie Bike. But any of the floating vehicles, which is like everything else, you can just press A on a booster multiple times, and it'll give you a boost multiple times, which is kind of funny. But Rocket Star gets the most speed of any boost of any vehicle when it hits a booster. So Rocket Star makes like a lot of use of that. So the only vehicle, or actually that's not true. I was gonna say the only course we use it on, but there's actually two courses. But Magma Flows is like the main one that it's like still definitively the best, and that course just has like a bunch of boosters, so we make use of that constantly. Um, I don't know. There's other stuff. We use Bulk Star on Nebula. Um, are you familiar with Bulk Star? Did you ever like use it?
No.
Okay. So if you've ever used it casually, you're like, what the hell is this thing? It's garbage. Basically, like it doesn't move unless you charge up boost, and then like it burns it like fuel. So instead of like your boost releasing all at once, it like basically like goes over time. But as it's using fuel, it just constantly gains speed. So normally, like when you charge up, it kills all your speed. But if you can get up to speed and have a full charge meter, then when you release it, you can actually get up to like pretty high speeds. Um, so what we do is like we basically charge it and like go off a jump, and then you gain speed as you're falling, and you hit the ground with a full charge, and then like you carry that for a while. Um, so Nebula, we use bulk, or used it in hang on, words. We use it now in no duplicate rides. We used to use it in all tracks until Scooter is faster if you have like really good spin dashes, but it's really hard to do. So it took me a while, like when I was learning the game, to eventually switch to Scooter.
Just how many vehicles there are?
Say that again.
Just so many vehicles. I don't know how any of
Oh,
them work, but you do.
yeah, yeah. It's kind of hard to like explain without like showing, but
Yeah.
um, yeah, that's one of the things that. Oh, speaking of which, with Kirby Air Riders coming out later this year,
Oh yeah.
um, so I'm looking forward to that. Obviously, as is probably anyone who's ever liked Air Ride. Um, but yeah, I'm interested to see like, are we going to get same vehicles coming back? Are we going to get a bunch of new vehicles? Are we going to get what's it going to be? Is it? I have no idea. Like we don't know anything about this game. Um, is it going to have the three game modes again? Is it going to have more game modes? Is it going to be mostly city trial focused? 'Cause that's what people seem to like the most. Um,
Yeah.
yeah, I don't know. I'm excited for it, but I don't know what to think or like what to expect.
As of right now, all we know is it exists.
Yeah, and then it comes out in 2025. That's all we have.
Oh
So
yeah,
probably
not
like
even a month, huh?
nope. My
Interesting.
guess is probably like October, November, like prior to Christmas. But I'll
Hmm.
definitely be getting that day one. I'm very excited for it.
Makes sense. All right. Anything else notable about that game?
Um, City Trial Any Percent has had a lot of improvements. I never actually ran the category.
Hmm.
I don't know. I don't really care much for City Trial. I basically just like um, I play the game for the racing mode mostly.
Hmm.
Um, there's a lot of cool stuff. I mentioned like the RNG manipulation for the stadium events. There's certain parts where like using multiple controllers at once to like do some stadium checkboxes with like the drag races. There's like get a certain time with one vehicle and then a different checkbox like get a certain time with this other vehicle. So you just do them both at the same time with two controllers. Um, and then there's like certain checkboxes that like kill a certain number of enemies with like a rocket with like a fireworks. So then like you have all four controllers plugged in and you have to like get all three of them into like a corner so that like you can get the firework and then drive over and shoot all the other ones. It's really crazy run. Blue Candy currently has the record. He did a run on GDQ at HGDQ. Um,
Yep.
but that category is super cool. I just don't like a ton about it because I haven't run it myself. But one of the things is that it used to be like super RNG heavy, but it's a lot less now. Like it's a lot more consistent due to another thing. There's an item underflow where
Oh.
um, basically like you can using two players, you can have one of them spawn like plus all stats patches. So when you pick them up, it'll say you're at like you know two of every stat, but you've only or like let's say three of every stat, but you've only picked up three items rather than picking up like how many stats are there? Nine, I think.
Hmm.
So rather than picking up like 27 items, you've only picked up three, but it'll say you're at like three of everything. So then you can take damage and you can get pushed into the like number of items you have is negative, even though like you have positive stats, and that can cause like an underflow, and that basically allows them to like instantly complete all of the like you know collect a certain number of patches in one race because it'll just act like you have collected everything.
Hmm.
Um, so there's all sorts of cool stuff in City Trial, and then top right also 90% has like there's like a four controller strat with a couple of the races to like get a bunch of the checkboxes. And I'm even less familiar with Top Red. Hasn't been active in a while, but
So you've always cared most about just the standard air ride
just the race.
races.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I don't know what it is. It's just the racing's fun. I think what I like. I was thinking about this. Like what I like in speedruns, as far as like I don't know, either platformers or racing games, like they're pretty similar, realistically, right? Like in terms of um, gameplay experience, or as far as like speedrunning experience. And like I've mostly run racing games, but with like Shadow Gens as well, I think like games that have a lot of variance in how quickly you can move, I really like. So the reason that I like Air Ride and then also like GX and X is that there's a lot of variance in speed, and like for F-Zero SNES, for example, like you kind of just get up to speed and then like you try and keep that as much as possible, and then like take turns well, like clean driving lines and stuff like that. Try to lose as little speed as possible around the tight turns. Um, it doesn't like appeal to me that much. Or like, Mario Kart, for example, is like very much about like clean driving lines, um, and like getting your mini turbos and stuff like that. It's like you do have variance in how fast you're going, but the difference in speed and air ride is like, you do a spin dash and you're going like four times the speed you'd be going otherwise, as opposed to like 10% faster or something like that. Um, or like in GX, like normal driving speeds are like if you're playing the game casually, you're like 1,000 to maybe 1,500 kilometers an hour, but when you're snaking, you're going like over 3,000. Um, then you hit a wall and you lose all your speed. But then like you build it back up pretty quickly, or like you get a shift boost and you go in like 4,000 plus. Um, so that's kind of what I like about Air Raid. It's just you go really fast, and like getting those speed boosts is like part of the challenge. And then also like once you have it, like controlling it and maintaining it, stuff like that.
Mhm. Speaking of the F-Zero games, I know those are wacky to watch sometimes.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
what's causing all that?
So GX, God, GX has so much. There's one of the top max speed players, AKC. He made this like many years ago, and I think he keeps it updated. But like he basically made like a max speed guide, and it's just like a very comprehensive text guide of like everything there is to know about max speed. And it doesn't even go into like course specific stuff, just like talking about like techniques and like speed techniques and stuff like that. The document's like 53 pages. It's
Jesus.
crazy. And there's like snaking related stuff too that doesn't even go into because it's really just for max speed. And I kind of started like I never finished this project, but I kind of like started writing down notes that I had about snaking in like a similar manner to his document. And I have like another like 5 or 6 pages, and my document is like nowhere close to done either. Of just like snaking focused stuff that like doesn't even apply to max speed, but like more of that. So GX just has like a fucking infinite amount of stuff to talk about. Um,
I see.
but yeah, I mean, I guess I could talk about like well, how how much of GX have you seen? Are you familiar with?
Um, I've definitely seen a run. Probably one of
Okay.
yours, honestly, at a GDQ, but I don't remember
Mm,
which one. Obviously, it would have had snaking though, because of
yeah.
course. But I know there's a lot of not being on the track sometimes.
Yeah.
You know.
So yeah, one of the tricks is it's called like a shift boost where like you drive off the track and then back on.
Hmm.
And basically every time you catch air for a sec, you get like a large burst of speed. And you can like chain those together and get a bunch. Um, trying to think about like what's interesting about the game. What do I like about GX? I mean everything, but like what what's interesting to talk about?
Maybe it's just
Um,
uninteresting.
um,
Maybe a little harsh.
no. Let me think about this for a sec. One of the things that is interesting to me about GX is that like this kind of goes back to what I was talking about with like the variance in speed, is that a lot of like most games, most like racing games, you think of when like record gets improved or something like that, it's like maybe a tenth of a second, maybe a few frames or something like that. Um, GX is still getting improvements like, this I don't know if they've been this month, but like, past couple months have been new improvements like in records, and like records are still getting beaten by like multiple seconds.
Wow.
Um, just because like doing stuff a little bit better results in so much more speed that you save so much time. Um, and there's just kind of like an infinite skill ceiling at like any point. Um, like tasks, there was a task for one of the levels that one of my friends was working on that you finish the level in like 37 seconds. I think my PB is like, or the record's just under 2 minutes, and it's
Okay.
like it's technically using all the same tech that like a max speed player could use. Um, that one abuses shift boost because like you're in a pipe, so it's just getting them constantly. Um, but like any of those shift boosts could be possible for a human to get. Um, so the skill ceiling is definitely just like astronomical, and that's cool. Like it feels nice to not have like a solved game. Um, like this is actually something I've wanted to ask, uh, like a SMB1 runner like you.
Okay.
Have you ever thought about like, do you think you would like SMB1 more or less if like frame rules didn't exist and it was all about just like number of frames on the level? Is that something that
Um,
like the community ever talks about? Like, has anyone tried
it
like running a?
has been. In fact, I think there's a ROM hack out there that removes the 21 frame rule.
Mm,
Um, I've never really thought about it.
mm,
Um, Obviously, I was part of the history on improving 8.4, which is a frame
mm.
count,
Yeah,
which was interesting. But I don't know. I don't think I would like it as much just because there's nothing to really shoot for. Like if you're just
mm,
constantly doing frames, whatever, but the thought of you add this trick and you save this block of time. I don't know.
yeah.
That's
But
kind
I
of fun.
mean, yeah. I guess the trick would save a block of time anyway. It's well, hmm,
Not necessarily. There are some things that like only save, a few frames, but because it
but
saves
it's
the
just
frame
enough.
rule,
Yeah,
here you go.
yeah, yeah. I guess that's fair.
Yeah.
I don't know. I guess to me, it just kind of feels like it seems weird to have a game that like not that it's an auto scroller, but like, do you get what I mean a little bit? Where it just kind of feels like if you just do it right, then like you just get the same time every time.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah,
there's something
and
fun
like,
about that. Like,
mm,
it's something where you feel like you're 100% in control, and
mm,
I like that. Like, I'm not a fan of RNG and stuff. I like
that's true.
having full control of the run. Plus, it
Mm,
makes races awesome because you can be
that's
like
true.
literally tied the whole time,
Yeah.
and then but it will always come down to a frame count because you can always like have a variance in 8.4.
Mm,
I say always
yeah,
as
that's a good
if
point.
I haven't literally done like ties to the frame and races in warpless, not even 80%. So it's still entirely possible, but more
Mm,
unlikely.
yeah, yeah, for
But
sure.
it's a great racing game, which is why I love the tech that combines it all into the one screen.
Mm, yeah,
But
that's interesting.
I don't know. I
Mm,
think I just like having that control, and then the races are really interesting in that regard.
yeah, that's
But
fair. I think
I don't know. I honestly don't know what I would have done if it wasn't like that.
mm,
Because I don't live in that universe.
yeah, interesting that you mentioned like someone's done it wrong. That doesn't surprise me, but like I guess what does surprise me is that like more people don't like run it. You know what I mean?
I mean,
So it seems like
a lot of people are on it.
not the
Oh,
like
you mean the
non-frame
ROM
rule.
hack?
Yeah,
I
like the non-frame rule
I'm
version.
actually not entirely sure it exists. I am assuming it does because I thought
Okay.
people have talked about it, and I
Mm,
don't think it would be that hard to implement. So surely
yeah.
someone's done it. But yeah, no one that I know of runs it. Not
Mm,
I've never heard anyone talk about like speedrunning it. And people
yeah. So I
speedrun a lot
guess
of dumbass ROM hacks. So yeah, it
yeah.
is I guess surprising.
Yeah, it seems like a lot of the community probably is in like similar opinion to you then in terms of
Yeah, I
liking how
guess
it is.
that is legitimately a turnoff. I guess it's like unique to the game,
Mm,
so that's what has a lot of draw. Like you don't have to be perfect until a certain
yeah,
point, but I don't know. There's something
yeah,
fun about that. You just have to be
mm,
good enough, and then you're not punished, and that leeway
yeah,
is nice.
yeah. I think with a lot of the games that I run, it doesn't feel like there is ever a perfect. Like
Yeah,
all of my runs have like large mistakes,
yeah,
but it's like I don't know. The runs always feel messy, but it also just feels like damn, I just did like that one part like really fast. Like that level of like being able to do just some random section, just doing it better than you've ever done it before. Um, like a lot better than you've ever done it before is really cool and like something that Airride and GX have more than even more than like F Zero X. which is like the other game that I ran. And even that has more than like most other racing games, but um, that game's a little bit more controlled, particularly in like the non. There's levels that have dives. There's like a double tap dive trick, which gives a lot of speed, kind of like shift boosting. So those ones have a lot more variance, but like the fully grounded courses are a lot less variant. So like to some degree, there's kind of a limit on like how well you've done it, and like you can do stuff better, but it's like saving like a tenth of a second or something like that versus Air GX, you can just randomly bust out like a lap that's like 2 seconds better than you've ever done before. Um, that's really cool to me.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, everyone has what interests them,
mm,
and that's what's nice. There's pretty much any game that will appeal to anyone.
yeah,
But yeah, that's the appeal to that, I guess. Because I like knowing our game is solved and that this is how many frames you are from perfection. It's like, oh, I know this. That's cool. Instead of like it being completely unknown. I don't know. The unknown's scary. I like knowing personally.
yeah,
Like, oh, this is how good you are and how good anyone could ever possibly be.
mm,
I'm like what 60 something frames off perfection. I mean, that's kind of cool.
yeah. That is something that's cool to be able to say. It's like, yeah, I like if I just these are the exact things that I need to do in order to be perfect, or like on these levels so far, I am literally perfect.
Yep.
Like that's cool. Um, it's definitely something unique. Like not something that I could say about like any of the games that I've run.
Yep. And there's really not a lot of games that are like that. There's and usually they're like NES games if I
Mm,
hear one similar to that.
yeah.
Like Marble Madness is a good example, but yeah, I really can't think of anything else that isn't just Mario 2 Lost Levels and other variants of Mario 1 engine.
Yeah, I was gonna say like I don't know, 2D games are like easier to reach that, but even like Mario World, for example, has like um sub-pixel like speed variance.
Yeah.
Um, so like technically, like perfect there is harder than just like holding right constantly.
Yeah, as far as I
Um,
know, there's no like frame rule in Mario World.
yeah, I don't think so, but like if you just hold right, like you run and hold right through an entire level, that's not technically like the fastest you could get it. Um, at least in terms of let me think about this. So I know when you're flying, you have like a speed variant between like 48 to 51
Yeah,
subpixels per
there's
frame.
yeah, and then
And
sometimes
so
you'll
like
land and try to get a better one or something. Yeah.
yeah, or you can adjust it in the air. So
Oh
like
yeah, that's okay. Yeah, yeah.
if you just like get a random one, that wouldn't necessarily be the fastest. I think you have speed variance on the ground too, but I'm not totally sure. But like I think if
I
there
don't
is speed variance
think
on the ground,
so. I think it's just Cape,
okay,
but I'm not a Mario World expert, so.
yeah, yeah, I'm definitely not either. But I feel like I should know this because I've watched a lot of
Mario World
it.
is cool though, but it's one of those
Yeah,
things where yeah, it is like Mario 1 and like the 2D aspect, but there's no frame rule aspect, so you can just save frames and the
mm,
optimization in that regard is like impressive in a different way.
yeah, yeah. Mario World was one of the games that I thought about running back in the day. Um, yeah, when I first got into speedrunning, I really just like I wanted to run everything. I wanted to run Sunshine, I wanted to run Mario World, I wanted to run SMB1. I actually learned like most of the run and then
Hmm.
I don't know, got stuck in like
No, you can always come
World
back.
8. I got stuck in like World 8. I was running on the Mario All Stars version. So like
Oh,
I know it's
well,
different.
don't do that.
Well, it was what I had, so what I was running on.
I know,
Um
but don't do that.
um
I
yeah,
did
I wanted to run like
11
a
eggs
bunch
for
of
a
Pokemon
12-hour
games.
challenge, actually,
Oh nice.
because I know you brought that up earlier.
Yeah. Yeah, I wanted to run 11 Exit and then I never did. I think I like I played Mario World. Um you know the jump on Yoshi's Island 3, like literally just the second level of the run where like you jump on the message box
Oh
and then
yeah,
like
yeah,
that
yeah.
jumps you up.
Hmm.
I was like struggling with that, and that's when I found out that my TV had input lag.
Ah, great. Yep. That is a tight
And
window to get
yeah,
the P speed and then make it.
yeah. And this was back in like 2015. So obviously, I don't
Yeah.
use that TV anymore. But I remember at the time, and then I was like, never mind. I couldn't get the jump, and I was like, I'll figure this out later. And then I never went back to it. Um,
Yeah. 2D platformers, you need like no input lag. It's just,
yeah,
well, at least
like technically
I
you can
need
have a
no
little bit
input
as long
lag.
as you. Yeah, I mean, as long as you're used to it, like you just learn it how you learn it. But
Yeah.
when you can
Well,
tell that it's there, it's too much.
I could give an example where when I first started Mario 1, I was on emulator and apparently I had like 10 frames of input lag. And
Mm,
I got, not fantastic, but pretty good. Then I went to my first
yeah,
GDQ and tried consoles, and all of a sudden I became like this god, to me at least. And then when I
yeah,
came
you
back,
just spells a lot better.
I like entered top 10 almost immediately. I was
Mm.
like, okay, yep, that was it. That was what was holding
That's
me
funny.
back.
That's funny. Yeah, I played on the TV for a while because like with Airride, so I started running Airride on emulator, and that had a bit of input lag, but it didn't really matter. I switched to console, but then I was on that TV that was laggy, but it also didn't matter that much. And then I switched to GX, and that didn't matter like that much. Like it mattered, but I was used to it, so it was okay. Um, but when I switched to snaking, it doesn't work with snaking because you're constantly turning, and so like you turn towards a wall, and then you have to like turn away from the wall um, to like not hit it because like you're turning back and forth. But the faster you're going, the faster you approach the wall, obviously. So like, and your speed changes a lot. So you can't like just get used to like turning earlier because how much earlier you would need to turn, like if you have input lag, I mean, like how much earlier you would need to turn depends on how fast you're going.
Mhm.
And so you would have to like look at your speed and then know like how much earlier you have to turn based on the input lag.
Like your reaction
Um,
time would have to be quicker to account for it.
yeah.
Mhm.
Um, so when I started snaking, that's when it was like, okay, I can't play on this TV. This is completely infeasible. This doesn't work.
Mhm.
So I came up with a different solution. I think I switched to playing on my monitor at the time, which it's like a gaming monitor, so it didn't really have any input lag of any significance. It's
Mhm.
like a couple milliseconds, but like much less than a frame. So
Yeah.
um, but yeah, that's actually what I play on now. I don't use CRTs for anything. I They're big, they're clunky, they're heavy, they make an annoying sound. I like my digital screens.
Mhm.
I have a retro tank though, which is
Mhm.
nice. So I use
Yeah.
that for
I
N64.
still play on CRT, but I have a retro takedown mainly for just
Mm.
capture quality. But for
Yeah, that
casual
too.
gaming, I do it on my 4K OLED television because I can.
Yeah.
But yeah, I definitely, and the upper leg isn't even that bad on that TV, but I'll always
Mm.
prefer the feel, the look, and the input lag of CRT.
Yeah.
Because even with like the best monitors, I feel like there's still like one frame sometimes.
Interesting.
But
One frame's a lot. I mean,
it is a lot, yeah.
16 milliseconds? That like the retro tank has like microseconds. Like it's nothing.
Uh-huh.
Um, and like good gaming monitors are like 1 or 2 milliseconds. Because like if this was a problem, then like PC gamers would be using CRT PCs, like esports players and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So good gaming monitors should be like
Maybe it is less than
actually that
one
low.
frame. I never really, because I only
Yeah.
go in like increments of a frame because to me that's like the smallest frame of reference you can use.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
I
But
guess
it
I
really
never
should be
really
just
thought
like
just how much is it?
yeah, it should just be like a couple milliseconds.
Maybe. But I definitely notice something usually with
Mm,
non-CRT displays.
yeah.
Um
And so some of it
or at
too is
least I
just
need a
like
scapegoat to blame at the very least. So
yeah, I was gonna say some of it too is just like the feel of the screen is different. And
yeah.
so something might just feel off and like
Now I do
it might
play on a
feel like a
flat
bit
screen
lag.
CRT, so it's like more similar than most people because
That's
warp
fair.
CRTs fuck me up. I can't
Mm,
do that.
yeah.
But it is interesting, and then it
Mm,
affects everyone differently too.
yeah.
But
Um I will say
anyway,
so I got one of the Oh, we're talking about retro tanks and stuff like that.
I
I
see.
got one of the early models of retro tanks, and I'm kind of sad it doesn't support progressive scan.
Uh,
I think that like the ultra nice ultra nice retro tank does now. So from my Wii, I'm still using one of like the Wii to HDMI adapters,
yeah.
and the one that I have doesn't have input lag, but the one that I have isn't sold on Amazon anymore. And there's like a billion of them on Amazon, but a bunch of them like have upscaling and have input lag, and I don't
Okay.
know like one of my friends asked me about it because he was playing he's a GX player and he used to play like on a Wii, but since
Yeah.
it's on Virtual Console, he like went back and like was playing a bit. He was complaining about the input lag, and I was saying like you could just play on Wii again, and I was saying like he could just get one of the adapters rather than having to deal with like old like composite video capture. But yeah, I went to look for the adapter and I noticed it wasn't on Amazon anymore. And I don't know like which ones are good anymore.
Oh
So like if
yeah.
this one dies, I would have to I don't know take a shot in the dark. That or I could buy like the ultra expensive retro tank.
Yeah. I do have the 5X Pro. Um, I do want to figure out
Oh yeah,
how to best
okay. This
do
one
Wii
supports
stuff,
progressive
but
scan.
I do not know that. So
Say that again.
like I don't have my Wii set up with
Oh yeah.
everything yet, so I would need to figure out what's best for myself as well. But I have not
Mhm.
looked into that yet
Yeah, but this
because
yeah that supports progressive scan. So you would just like switch your Wii to progressive and then get like component cables. That's your best quality out
that's
of the
better
Wii.
than an HDMI thing.
It it's the same slash better because
Same
the way
slash
that
better.
the
Okay.
Wii to HDMI adapter works is it just tells the console to output like component, and then
Oh, okay.
the adapter does like component to HDMI conversion.
I see. So
But
you just plug component into RetroTink and then do it that
yeah,
way. Okay.
yeah, and then like you in like the Wii settings, you
Now I
can like
will
tell it to do
say I
progressive
know I
scan.
have like off-brand component cables for my Wii, and I think those are bad.
They
Or
might be, but the um
but
the video output port in the
Retrovision has a
Wii
Wii.
isn't.
Sorry, I'm talking out loud or thinking out loud.
Yeah, the Wii's video output port isn't like ultra high quality anyway, so I don't think it matters too much what cables you have.
I see. Okay.
Um, like apparently the GameCube digital output port is like ultra high quality,
Oh yeah, I've
um,
heard.
which is weird because like they only made like three of the cables to actually use it,
Yeah.
but the port itself is like super good quality.
Yep.
But I don't know. I just use the Wii for everything because it's a better GameCube.
Yeah. I do want a GameCube though because of the Game Boy interface.
Yeah,
That's the
yeah, that's true.
one thing you need it for. Plus, I've
Mhm.
never owned a GameCube. I've owned every other Nintendo console.
Mm. Yeah, I still
Um,
have my GameCube from when I was a kid, but the disk drive doesn't work that well. I did get it replaced, but it still doesn't work that well.
a friend was gonna
Like
send me his, and I was just gonna pay for shipping, but he can't find it. So it's
that's
like,
tragic.
oh. And he had the Game Boy player, so it's like perfect. But
Mm,
rip. Maybe someday,
mm.
because that'd be fun. Um.
Yeah.
Anyway, uh, I don't remember what the original topic of conversation was. I think it was F Zero GX.
Yeah, I think we're talking about GX and on the
And then
topic of
off,
input lag.
yeah. But um,
um,
I don't know if there's anything else you want to talk about GX, but because
um, I don't think so.
yeah, because I definitely want to ask about F Zero X because I am
Mm,
a lot more familiar with that game.
okay. Yeah, so
That's a more
F-Zero-X is
personal thing.
interesting because the so it's got that same like acceleration versus max speed slider,
Yep.
but they're kind of all in one. They don't have like separate leaderboards for them because well they do kind of, but um,
Is it
the
like
like
a
max
filter?
acceleration. Um, hang on.
Because I know sometimes a leaderboard will have combine it, but you can filter.
No,
The...
they are technically separate.
Oh, okay.
Well, like it would be a filter if the leaderboards were more robust because like it's held on F-Zero Central, which is like an old website.
Oh, okay.
Um,
I see.
but the drifting game mode, which is like what you have with max acceleration, um, it's not nearly as like overpowered as snaking is. So like snaking and max speed are just completely like worlds apart. But like
Okay.
some of my PBs, like some of my levels, my personal best is with the like higher max speed setting. You don't do like all the way to the right max speed, but basically the like non-sliding playstyle is called jumper. It's just like an old term from like some Japanese guidebook. I think it's called jumper because the idea is like when you're turning, you like do the double tap turn, and it kind of like jumps your vehicle to the side. So I
Oh
think that's kind
yeah,
of like where the turn.
that's what you do in like Death Race, right? To knock people off.
Yeah, you use like the side attacks, yeah. But they're useful for handling because
Oh,
they let you
okay.
turn sharper, and
Oh
particularly
yeah,
they let you
holding
they
not double tap or no.
you do double tap, you do double tap, but
Oh,
like
okay.
it helps you turn sharper and not lose a lot of speed.
Okay. I only knew
Um,
it because when you use it, it like makes your car like have a red tint
yeah,
to it, and then you can damage people. I didn't realize it had
yeah,
a use in like a
yeah. So
racing
that's what
game, I
they're
guess.
supposed to be like side attacks. Like
Hmm.
that's kind of what they are. So they're supposed to be used primarily for that, but
Yeah,
they are super useful for handling as well. Um,
that's actually very interesting. I didn't know that.
yeah. So basically, especially in that game, because when you're going quickly, you don't have very much grip. So if
Hmm.
you're trying to turn very sharply, if you like just turn the stick, you're just gonna lose all your grip, and then you lose all your speed. You won't even turn.
Yeah, I know
You'll just
you
like
can
start
hold the
sliding.
button to like do the drift
Yeah,
turn, and then sometimes you'll start sliding,
mm,
that kind of thing, where
yeah.
you like kind
So
of use
if
lose
you
control.
if you hold like Z to like the left one and press left, then like you'll keep your grip and turn, but that kills like all of your speed instantly.
Yeah.
But if you like double tap Z as you're turning left, um, you'll maintain a lot more of the speed and like still turn pretty sharply.
Okay.
Um, but yeah, snaking's cool because like the drifting kind of works like mini turbos in the sense that like you're gaining speed from the drift, but instead of like gaining speed at the end, like in Mario Kart or whatever, you're like as you're turning, you're building up speed, and then like once the turn kind of ends, then like you straighten out and try and maintain that speed. Um, but yeah, there's some of the courses where like there's not a lot of turns to drift that depending on your skill level or your strategy, there's like non-drifting strategies. So in those cases, we'll use like a little bit to the right of like center between max speed and max acceleration. Um, use like a more balanced setting for that.
I have seen
Um,
footage of people just like flying quite literally and like hitting checkpoints in the air to complete it.
yeah. So there's a few things. I haven't actually done that part. There's I mean people have, I haven't. There's
You
that's
like
actually
to
not as
stay grounded.
yeah. So there's a something called an air ground glitch where if you like land on a rail and then like you drive off, then it still considers like some aspects of your physics still act as if you're on the ground still. And you can like hit uh like refill zones or boosters that are on the ground even though you're like in the air. You get a lot more grip and you can actually just like fly upwards. Um, those are used for a lot of fast laps because basically like you could do any of those and then enter a lap like with a huge dive and come in at 3,000 kilometers an hour,
Hmm.
um, which is the like in-game speed cap. Um, but then there's like some of the levels that it's used as well. Like the first level, like Mute City One, you basically the record currently like turns around on lap one and then triggers air ground glitch and then like does 3 laps of like flying through the air. Um, but yeah, that strat's like super difficult. I kind of tried learning it and like had no idea where I was going in the air. Like you handle super weirdly because like if you start turning too much, then you'll lose grip, and then if you lose grip, you start falling really fast. You
Hmm.
like your vehicle remembers that you're not on the ground, so you start falling. Um, but even prior to that, there's huge dive techs like techniques where you have to like turn your vehicle sideways in the air and like you point downwards and then like you like you side attack with the side of your vehicle that's raised up and that'll like propel you to the ground super quickly. It's called a double tap dive. Um, so that's like a common one is on like Port Town One, which is the last course in the first cup. Um, it's like a common place that people learn it.
Yeah.
But yeah, that game actually one of the top runners made like a super complex tutorial series. Um, he like basically made a bunch of like tasks of multiple. Where's this channel? Hang on, gotta find- There it is. He made tasks of like a bunch of like basically every course, but like multiple strategies on each course, like beginner to like expert strategies.
Hmm.
Um, it's actually like a crazy project. Um, I learned a lot of F-Zero X off of those. Let me make those like 2017. Yeah, that's roughly like kind of when I started learning it. Yeah, I don't know. I didn't stick to F-Zero X as much as GX. It was definitely fun, but GX is like the main game for me still between the two. And then all the other F-Zero games, like I don't know, the 2D games like don't have much appeal to me. Like I was saying, but the big thing is just like the variance and speed.
Yeah.
You don't go very fast in the other games. It feels like so. Um,
Now, what about AX?
um, I played it. I mean, I played the arcade versions. Like they have them at GDQs. And
Yeah.
first time I played it in Japan when I went in 2019. That was before they started bringing them to GDQs. It's kind of cool, but I don't know. It just feels like worse GX. Like it's kind of the same engine as GX. The physics are different, but it's the
Oh.
same engine.
Hmm.
But like the physics are meaningfully different. But like it has its own tech. It is kind of cool. It's got like a drifting technique that works similar to snaking, but like you do it differently. Um, but there's like there's weird stuff too because one of the best vehicles for it is like a custom vehicle that I think you need a license card for. Um, and I don't even know where you would get a license card these days. I don't even know if like the GDQ machines have like a license card reader.
I
Um,
know. I remember people like putting in their memory cards or whatever.
yeah, you can also like make custom vehicles with your memory card. I don't even know the
Oh.
specifics
Hmm.
because it's not the same. It's not the same vehicle parts that are on GX. So I don't know like what they're putting on the memory card. But I also don't know if the ones that are there have like if those memory card readers work or not. Um, it's
Interesting.
cool that they have the arcade machine, but it's not something that like interests me that much.
Hmm. Fair enough.
Um, yeah, I used to like the first couple GDQs that they had them out because I know how to do like that tech. It's called T drifting. I know how to do it kind of generally. I'm not very good at it, but I basically just like set a time attack time on Sonic Oval, which is just one of the courses, just like a big oval, and just like set first place in time attack and then like not play it for much the rest of the week. But when I was there this week, I saw someone else playing it, and they were T drifting. So I was like,
Ah.
okay, well, someone else actually knows how to do it, so they're probably gonna put more effort into it than I am. So they can have the record.
Oh well. Yeah. I always saw those machines at GDQ, so I thought I'd ask. I don't. I didn't. They even had like Mario Kart for the first time, like the arcade Mario Kart. I didn't play it.
Yeah,
I'm so
yeah, I
bad.
saw that.
What's wrong with me? Oh,
Yeah, I actually meant to play that. I didn't get around to it.
yeah.
Um, I generally don't spend that much time in the arcade, just because
I did
I don't
quite
know.
a
I
bit,
like,
but I'd always play the same like couple games.
mm,
Death Ball.
yeah. Um, I tend to not like a lot of games. Like the games that I like a lot, but just like random games, I'm not like a big fan of just like playing, like random arcade games and stuff like that, which is kind of weird. But um, so I don't tend to spend that much time in the arcade. But I did want to play that Mario Kart game, but I didn't get around to it.
Yeah. Surely it'll be
It's fine.
back. Maybe.
Yeah, Mario Kart World's better, I'm sure.
Probably.
Dude, oh, speaking of speedrunning in that game, I
Oh.
was like thinking about, I was like, because Mario Kart 8 was cool, and I never really
Mhm.
got into the speedrun. I was always kind of like thinking about like it'd be kind of fun to speedrun this game. And then Mario Kart World came out, and I was like, okay, like I might consider just like running this game a little bit. And in the racing mode, you can't turn off items, and I'm
Hmm.
like, I don't want to play with, I don't want to just get blue shelled randomly when I'm like trying to do a speedrun.
Yeah, but
I
that's
just feel like
also
racing,
all Mario Kart speedruns have items on usually.
not Mario Kart 8.
Yeah.
So that's what makes Mario Kart 8 so goated. That and 200cc.
Yeah.
And Mario Kart World also doesn't have 200cc. So like literally when I turned on the game, I like the first thing I did, I was like, I'm just gonna go to the racing mode and just like pick a course and just kind of like drive around. Just that was the first thing I did. And I find no 200cc and no option to turn off items. So that was my first experience with the game, and I'm like, Jesus Christ, this is horrible. I was so mad. I came around to the game, but that left a really bad taste in my mouth. Like my very first experience, before I was even into a race, I'd already found like two massive complaints with the game that
Mm.
like almost made me not want to play.
Is Mario
And
Kart 8's like main speedrun no items?
yeah,
Because like every other, I feel like most Mario Karts have a way to turn it off, but their main modes aren't itemless.
um,
Like you can in Wii, right? Or am I crazy?
I don't know about Wii. I don't know when it started. Maybe, but like,
Again, versus mode, like Grand Prix is always gonna have items, obviously.
yeah. So I think, well, okay, I don't know how the other games handle it, but like because Mario Kart 8 has like the option to do like 48 tracks and then like you just like start somewhere and like it
Yeah,
goes through all in a
that's
row.
versus, yeah.
Yeah, in the versus mode.
Hmm.
Rather than having to like pick a course each time, I think like maybe in the other games, maybe doing Grand Prix was just faster because it like automatically sent you into the next level.
Yeah,
Maybe. So maybe it's just like do the mode that's fastest and Grand Prix is the fastest. So you have to deal with items, maybe.
I don't know.
In like Wii or something like that. But yeah, since Versus has the like automatic level thing, um, I don't even know if that's the reason or if that's the case or whatever, but that might be why. But yeah, so because of that, I'm just
Yeah,
kind of killed any interest I had in running Mario Kart World.
yeah. I'm definitely interested in like Mario Kart speedrun stuff. Like I'm addicted to
Hmm.
watching 64. I have it on the background right now, but
Yeah,
uh,
Zavni streaming.
yeah, precisely. But yeah,
Love that.
I've always been like an RNG hater, so I don't know if I'd actually get into it. But like some of the
Hmm.
tech and stuff is just so unique and cool.
Yeah,
It's like I don't know.
yeah. 64 is fun.
Yeah,
It's cool. I like the runs.
most Mario Karts make really good, entertaining speedruns. At least they're
Hmm.
all like unique in their own way. Like DS has its
Yeah,
snaking, Wii has its ultras,
yeah.
GameCube's got its unique double mechanic
Hmm.
shenanigans, whatever it's doing.
Yeah.
Uh,
Even still, like they all just drive like pretty uniquely and
yeah.
stuff like that. So
Super Mario Kart, Mario Super Circuit exist, so there's that. I guess 8 has 200cc. Like they're all unique. They have all got
yeah,
something, and that's what's cool.
yeah. I love 8. It's definitely my favorite Mario Kart. Even after like since playing Mario Kart World, I've concluded that 8 is still my favorite.
Yeah, I mean it has
Um,
objectively the most content. Just
yeah.
I
The
guess
fact that
like
they just dropped another 48 levels like that is so crazy to me.
I mean I it made sense until they announced World, and I was like, oh, okay, you're just spoiling us at this point because it was like, okay, we need more content after what fucking 6 years or whatever.
Mhm.
Like, yeah, that makes
Yeah.
sense. But oh no, you were working on a new game the whole time. Okay,
Mm.
sure. I'm
Yeah.
not gonna
Yeah.
complain.
Um, but I think 200cc is also just something that like makes it different because like man, the other Mario Karts just feel slow. 200cc, it's so much more
Well,
fun because it's just faster.
have you
Like
seen the graph of like it shows how fast 50, 150 are, and then how fast 200 compared to those actually is,
yeah,
and it's like
it's like
so much
instead of being
faster.
instead of being like 10% faster, it's like 40%
Yeah,
faster.
no, it's
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 great.
it's absurd.
I love it. It's how it should
It's
be.
like more like what 270 or
I think
300 cc maybe.
using the same comparison would be like 400 or something like that.
Oh,
Yeah.
even more. Damn.
I don't remember exactly. I want to say it's like 400 or something like that, but
Maybe. That's absurd though.
mm,
Yeah, no, that's fun. I like Mario Kart.
yeah.
That's my hot take.
Liking video games?
Uh, Impossible.
Yeah.
Um, is there?
Yeah, I don't know. I was kind of looking.
Oh,
Or go ahead.
I was gonna move on. So if you had something,
Okay.
go ahead.
Yeah, I was looking forward to running that potentially, but it seems like oh, the other thing was I was like considering whether I want to run Donkey Kong Bonanza Not that I had
Ah,
like
yeah,
seen any game like prior to release. I was just like, if I end up liking the game, if the speedrun looks interesting, I might learn it. Um,
yeah. I'm sure the Odyssey people will be all over it because
yeah,
apparently it's the same dev team and
yeah,
very similar.
yeah. I haven't played it yet, but I was watching some people play it. It honestly, it looked less interesting than I expected.
Hmm,
It seems like everyone who's playing it likes it. Maybe it's just one of those games that is more fun to play than it looks.
maybe.
So I'll probably get it at some
Um,
point. But
I have heard people like praising how good of a speedrun it will be. Like, I have
mm,
no doubt it'll make it into HDQ, and it's probably
yeah,
gonna be like, bonus game Saturday. Holy shit!
yeah,
That's what I'm seeing based on
mhm,
reviews and reactions so far.
yeah.
I haven't seen much of it because I don't usually care about spoilers that much, but I try to keep as
Try to-
limited knowledge as possible if it's a game I'm thinking of playing, although I don't know when I'd ever get around to it, but because I wasn't
mhm,
like, oh, I can't wait. I'm not one of those people, but we'll see.
yeah, yeah. But I don't know. So if the speedrun ends up being interesting and like after I play it and it catches my eye, I might learn it. But I'm thinking I probably won't learn any new speedruns, but until surely when Air Riders comes out, I'll
You'll
probably
have
learn
no
the speedrun for
choice. Yeah.
that. Yeah,
How
I
you
kind of
could
got
get
it.
that into HDQ if it comes out before the second submission period.
Yeah, or if it comes out like in the second submission period. Yeah,
Yeah.
either way. Um,
Although I think Markout World got in after second submission
yeah,
period. Kind of funny.
yeah. So
But
people were kind of complaining about that because like I mean it's cool that it
yeah.
got in, obviously,
No,
but it's
I
just
mean, I
like
get it. That was just
yeah,
yeah, obviously.
mhm,
I don't have any complaints about that.
yeah,
Although maybe the fact they used Knockout Tour was a bit of a choice, but
yeah.
it is longer, I guess, so right? Yeah. So maybe that's why. But
Is it longer than just doing all the
well, it's the
courses?
same
I guess
amount
it
of
is.
cups except like well, actually is it? I
Oh, as
think
opposed to doing all cups. Yeah.
no, Knockout might be quicker actually. Now I think about it. But not by much. Maybe like
I
10
was just
minutes.
thinking like just doing all the courses instead of like any of the cups at all. Like no
Oh,
Grand
like
Prix,
30
just like
track. Yeah, they were talking
yeah,
about that. I think part of it is they wanted to save that for a future event because it'd be more
that's fair.
like understood.
Yeah.
Um, which yeah, that makes sense. But I'm curious if they would do like an open world category, like all panels, all well, not all P switches that take 10 years, but
Yeah, something in the open world might be interesting.
yeah, because again, that's unique to that Mario Kart. Every Mario Kart's got something. But yeah,
Yeah.
I have been very much enjoying World. I need to play more because it's a
Mhm.
game I've been doing on stream, so I'm not playing it off stream, and I'd like to because it's good. Oh well. Anyway, what I was gonna say earlier was just, there any other games we didn't go into detail on that we should?
Um, let's see. I guess we didn't really talk about Shadow Generations. Um, yeah, like I said, I'm not like a Sonic speedrunner or anything like that, so it was my first time running a Sonic game, but man, that game is so much fun. Actually, we did talk about it a little bit.
Yeah, we did,
I was
but
talking about like how easy it was to learn, but I had such a blast learning that and running that game. And like, yeah, I didn't stop because I was bored or anything like that. I don't know, I started playing other
I do
games.
have a question actually. Does it
Yeah,
make you want to try out a different 3D Sonic?
not really.
Interesting.
Um,
Okay.
I Sonic Adventure 2 Battle has always been one of the games that like I was saying about how like I kind of learned a bunch about like a billion different games when I got into speedrunning and stuff like that and watched a lot. I've watched a lot of SA2. I know a lot about the game. I know a lot of runners. Um, that like if I was gonna learn another 3D Sonic game, that would be it. I don't think I'd ever learn a 2D Sonic game. I don't think they interest me. But if I was gonna learn another 3D game, that would probably be it. That game is cool. I really like the run. Um, unfortunately, like
Yeah.
if Sonic Adventure 2 didn't have the max stages, I think it'd be so much cooler. Like the Sonic stages are really cool, and the like hunting stages are cool. But the mech stages, I don't know. And the runners all defend it. They're like, oh, it's not that bad. It's a lot cooler than it looks. And like,
Sure.
it's difficult. I'm not saying like it's a boring, like not skillful. It's just boring, despite being skillful. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
um, but yeah, that would be the other one to learn. Um,
Got it. Well, hmm. Running out of questions here.
hmm.
Um, yeah, went over all live events, marathon runs, games, game specific stuff, history. Yeah, I really can't think of anything else to specifically ask unless there's anything we didn't go over that you'd like to.
I'm looking over my illustrious Pokemon Stadium speedrunning history career, where I
Okay.
I just started doing so that game is entirely like a solved speedrun. You press the buttons
Beautiful.
and you get lucky. That is the run.
Cool.
It's Gym Leader Castle is basically just like you do a bunch of battles. You like use one of the preset teams, or not preset teams. You make a team using the preset Pokemon, I think, and there's like a lot of like using Moltres and like trying to land Fire Blasts or like Zapdos and trying to land Thunders. Um, my second completed run was like seventh place on the leaderboards at the time, which was like pretty good.
Hmm.
And I tried for like a week after that, like several more streams to beat it, and I couldn't beat it
Because the RNG ran.
because it's just an RNG run.
Yeah.
But like
Not for
seventh
me,
place was
that's for
pretty.
sure.
Yeah, no, I just did it for fun.
No, yeah. Nothing wrong with that, but
Yeah, I think I'm ranked like way worse now. Rank 40. Yeah, I'm ranked 42 now. I was ranked 7 at the time.
huge.
Um, but yeah, it was really funny to like get that on my second run and then not be able to beat it. I was like, "Are you kidding me?" Um, oh yeah, and then also like that's one of the N64 games that has like the resolution switch where like capture cards get messed up.
Ah, yeah.
So I had like a webcam pointed down on my TV as I was playing it. Um, so that whole thing is super bad quality. But
I think
anything
it's
else
the
that I
perfect
missed?
quality. That's the classic way.
Oh, my illustrious Door to the Explorer Journey to the Purple Planet speedrun history, where it
Well, this took a turn I wasn't expecting.
um Paystrike used to organize like a blind meme game race at GDQs.
Oh
We all
yeah, I've
just
heard
like
of
buy like
these. Yeah, yeah.
yeah. And
I think it
yeah, this
expired like the PS1 Mystery Tournament, although obviously it wasn't just PS1 back then.
it could be, yeah. But we did like I think before the first GDQ I went to, they did like Shark Tale. First one I went to, they did Charlie and the Chocolate Factory for the GameCube.
Okay.
Um, that run I didn't finish. I got soft lock at a certain point. Um, then HDQ 17 we did that Door to the Explorer game. Um, then there was a Bionicle one that I bought the game but ended up not doing the race because I like wanted to watch one of the GDQ runs instead. I think that was the last one that we did. I don't know. They were kind of funny. Just like a bunch of us hanging out in a room playing some shitty game. Oh, and then I did some Pringles runs at
Oh yeah.
SGDQ. I have to submit my PB. I I I got a sub 330, but I didn't record it because I was just playing and I had a timer on my phone.
Mm.
I ended up recording some runs with like my phone in my lap pointed at the TV, but I like I don't. It's harder also because like you don't have a timer because my phone's being used to record it.
Yeah.
Um, I got like something around a 4 minute time. I don't know if it was sub 4 or not because I also like didn't know when the timing stopped exactly. Um, but I gotta submit that.
Yeah. Pringles, GDQ staple.
It really is. That it's honestly like a pretty fun
Has it
run,
ever been
to be honest.
on the mainstream? I feel like
I
someday.
think it was at one
Okay,
point.
that's good.
I'm not totally sure, but I think it
I'll
was.
have to look it up because that's just funny. Like silly game
But
block, be perfect.
yeah, yeah, it's a classic.
I remember AGDQ. They actually didn't have the Pringles shrine. It was very
Yeah,
sad.
Sex Rex wasn't there.
Well,
any GDQ. I don't think.
luckily, it was all back in action.
Yep.
Very important.
Yeah.
Um. Well.
Okay. But yeah, I think that's about all I have
Okay.
to talk about.
So we're done here, I guess.
Cool. Yeah. Thanks for having me. This was fun. I like
Indeed.
talking about video games.
Video games are sick, actually, I think. Speaking of
Believe it or
sick,
not.
let us
Yeah.
recover.
Yeah.
It all comes full circle.
It really does. Yeah.
Well,
I think I'm about recovered,
yeah,
but
I'm
we'll see.
getting there, but I've definitely had to go off camera to deal with some business.
Mm.
But GD flu, as always. Anyway, um, I guess the last thing I'll ask is future plans that you know for sure, or just
Um,
maybe.
as far as speedrunning, I mean it'll be Kirby Air Riders.
Yeah.
I want to go back to Shadow Gens at some point. Um, I don't know about. I might try and push some more improvements in Air Ride before Air Riders comes out. I'm not sure. Like I don't have any specific plans, but it'd be kind of fun too. Um, beyond that, yeah, I don't know. I There's a couple things in RuneScape that like I could submit to marathons. So like actually, oh, this is something I didn't talk about. Oh, it's small side tangent.
Okay.
Um, there was a um, an old school RuneScape run at SGDQ 24. I think it was 24.
Hmm.
Um, that a cold one did. That was on commentary for. And that run went really well. And like, so there's a lot of like bossing challenges and stuff like that in the game that like are good speedruns. The problem is a lot of them like if you die, there's no like safety, so
Mm-hmm.
they're not really marathon safe. But one of the raids that he did is safe. Like if you die, you can like reset it. Um, Sounds like one of the things that like I could potentially submit for like other marathons or something like that. I mean, I wouldn't submit that category to GDQ because it was just in, but like other events or something like that, I could potentially submit it. That'd be a nice way to like merge my casual gaming with speedrunning because there are. I mean, it is fun. I do really like doing like RuneScape speedrun stuff, but it doesn't translate well for marathons most of the time.
Mm-hmm.
But
Well,
yeah, thanks for having me. This was fun.
feel free to self promote however you'd like.
Um, yeah, I guess I don't know my Twitter, 1davidj. Uh, I retweet shit posts there most of the time. Occasionally tweet if I ever go live, which isn't very often.
Blue Sky
But if I
too,
do,
right?
it'll be there. Yeah, I'm also on Blue
Oh,
Sky. Also at
huge.
1davidj.
Can't
Managed to
forget.
snag 1davidj like literally everywhere, which is nice. Twitch, Twitter, Blue Sky, Discord, basically everything. YouTube.
Very good. We'll
So
link,
cool.
as always.
Alrighty.
Well, hopefully next episode will be fully well for everyone. Yay.
Surely.
But that'll surely. But that'll be all for this one. So thanks for watching and tune in to hopefully not sick next time. All right. Huge outro. All right. Bye-bye now. Uh